All right, let's dive into something that's, super important for any nonprofit running a child sponsorship program. Picking the right software. Getting this right isn't just about being more efficient. It's really about making that connection between your sponsors and the kids they support even stronger, which in the end just boosts your entire mission. So, let's get into it. So, let me just ask you this. Is your team completely drowning in spreadsheets? Trying to manage these amazing personal programs with manual data entry, it just leads to mistakes, it's inefficient, and you miss out on so many chances to really connect with your donors. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you already know there's got to be a better way. And finding that better way really starts with understanding the main challenge here. Running a great sponsorship program is complicated. It's this delicate dance between being super precise with all the admin stuff and creating these really heartfelt personal connections. And to do that well, nonprofits need some serious support in a few key areas. So to really tackle this, a modern program has to be built on 5 essential pillars. Think of it like a whole system, right? You need awesome sponsorship management and engagement to build those relationships. You need rock-solid financials and security to keep everyone's trust. And you need smart analytics to help you grow. Getting this entire system to work together, that's the real key to scaling up your impact without losing that all-important personal touch. So how do you get those pillars right? Well, the big choice usually boils down to this. Do you use a specialized tool that was built from the ground up for child sponsorship, or do you try to make a generic, all-purpose nonprofit platform work? Let's actually put them head-to-head across our 5 pillars and see what happens. Okay, first up, sponsorship management. Here's the core difference. A specialized tool is designed to manage the entire journey between a sponsor and a child, from the first match to all the progress reports. Generic tools, on the other hand, they kind of treat this like any other donation. They just use basic databases that really can't nurture that special, ongoing personal connection.
And that leads us right into our second pillar, donor engagement. How do you keep your sponsors feeling connected? Well, specialized platforms make this a priority. They have things like integrated messaging and mobile-friendly portals for direct updates. Generic tools, they often just don't have those personalized features, which makes it so much harder to keep that connection alive and keep donors engaged for the long haul.
All right, let's talk about the money and the rules, financials and compliance. And this is a biggie. A specialized tool automates the really critical stuff, like sending out tax-compliant receipts and handling all sorts of complex donations smoothly. Now, a generic tool can probably take a basic payment, sure, but then you're often stuck doing a ton of manual work for reporting and compliance, and that is just a huge drain on your time. Now, for analytics, the crucial thing here is depth. A generic tool might give you the basics, how much money you raised, how many donors you have. But a specialized platform, it gives you way deeper insights. We're talking about things like sponsor retention rates, how long sponsorships typically last, and trends in your program's growth. That's the kind of data that helps you make really smart, strategic decisions. And finally, security. Look, when you're handling sensitive data for children and for donors, this isn't just some feature on a list, it is an absolute necessity. Specialized platforms are built with robust security as a top priority, designed to meet strict privacy standards. Generic tools, they might not have that same level of focus, and that could potentially leave your organization and your community vulnerable. Okay, so in theory, the advantages of a specialized tool seem pretty clear, but let's make this way more concrete. Let's take a look at a real-world example, a platform called Help You Sponsor, which was designed from the get-go to solve these exact challenges. The source material really puts it perfectly. It says the goal is to tackle the specific challenges while fostering meaningful connections. And that just captures the whole idea, right? It's not just about managing data. It's about using technology to strengthen the very heart of what sponsorship is all about. So how does a tool like this actually deliver on those 5 pillars we talked about? Well, it starts with features like detailed child profiles and integrated messaging that directly boost donor engagement. Then you have things like embeddable displays to help you grow your program and a really intuitive interface to make sure your whole team can manage these relationships, no matter their tech skills. And for any nonprofits in the US, this is a total game changer. The platform is built specifically to work with popular US payment gateways, and it automatically generates receipts that meet IRS guidelines. This saves an unbelievable amount of admin headaches, especially when tax season rolls around. And what about the cost? The key word here is scalability. A structure like this means a small new nonprofit can get started for free and then grow into plans that are predictable, whether they're monthly or usage-based. It's designed so the investment always matches how big your operation is. That way, you're never locked into expensive software you haven't even grown into yet.
And for that usage-based plan, the cost is crystal clear and predictable. It's 80 cents per active commitment per month. That kind of transparency is so important for budgeting, and it makes sure there are no nasty surprises as your program grows and gets more successful.
So now that you're armed with all this info, how do you actually make your final choice? Whether it ends up being Help You Sponsor or some other tool, there are a few key things you've got to consider to make sure you're picking the right partner for your mission.
As you're looking at your options, you really need to ask yourself these questions. Does this tool align with where we want to be in 5 years? Can it handle the unique ways we get funding? As our team gets bigger, can we control who sees what? And maybe most importantly, will they let us test it out with a free trial? Never, ever commit until you know for sure it fits how you work.
At the end of the day, here's the main takeaway. This is not just an operational purchase. It is a strategic decision. The best platform is one that doesn't just solve your problems today, but is also flexible enough to grow right alongside your mission for years and years to come. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. Take a really hard look at your current system, whether that's a bunch of spreadsheets or some generic CRM. Is it truly empowering your mission, or is it quietly holding your program back, limiting its potential to connect, to grow, and to change lives?